Welcome to the Pointing It Out podcast. I am Megan Holmes here at the Needlepoint Clubhouse in St. Louis, Missouri.
And I am Melissa MacLeod at the Wool and the Floss in Grosse, Pointe, Michigan.
Hello, Melissa. How are you today?
I am good. I'm having a sense of deja vu.
A little deja vu. And if anybody follows us, either you will see this first or you will see another recording first, and you'll notice that we have on the same clothes and we're in the same locations. But if you're catching this video or podcast, you won't be able to see what we're wearing or where we're sitting. But my name is Megan Holmes. I'm here at my home in suburban St. Louis, pretty close to my shop, the Needlepoint Clubhouse. And as it's a Sunday, I'm here at home. And my pal over here, Melissa, was able to get over to her shop. Melissa MacLeod.
Yep, I'm Melissa MacLeod here at the Wool and the Floss in Grosse Pointe, Michigan. And yeah, I only live about 5 minutes from my shop for now.
I was just about to say that.
Some foreshadowing.
A little foreshadowing. So Melissa and I started the Pointing It Out podcast about 4 years ago, just outside of the yucky COVID, the beginning of COVID. And so we've been doing this together, the Pointing It Out podcast, co-hosting for
4+ years.
Right. It's wild. I was trying to do that math because it's 2025, but it hasn't been 5 years, but it's getting to be close. Right. So we have had such a wonderful time with this podcast. It has been an absolute blast. And neither one of us, well, we've both been having some soul searching communication. And Melissa said on another recording, our last conversation was, what time did you get up this morning? And I was like, well, I was up at 2:30, and then I tried to close my eyes again. And then I just got myself out of bed at 5 because I couldn't sleep. And
yes, all to say we have a lot on our plates right now. We are both moving our shops, not terribly far from their current location, but whether it was 1 block away or 10 miles away, it's still the same amount of work, stress, change, all for the better good, but a lot on our plates right now. So yes, so we had a soul searching conversation with each other.
We did. And so what we've decided is for now that we are going to put the podcast on hiatus. This is the beginning of January. We need to get through March. Both of us, ironically, I guess, or oddly, or coincidentally, leases both end at the end of March. And so we are both moving, hopefully before the end of March. I'm like, fingers crossed over here. Pray to the permitting gods, that I can actually move mid-February, mid-March. Yeah, so from now until then, we've got planning, we've got market, we've got move planning, we've got furniture moving, we've got, I don't know. I think I have to still decide on where some outlets go or something. I don't know. It's wild.
So exciting to both own our own buildings, but so many decisions to be made. So yeah, so one of our difficult decisions was to put the podcast on hiatus. Keep your eyes open for us in April. I think the best way to find really good information is make sure you're following Pointing Out Podcast on Instagram, the Wool and the Floss on Instagram, STL Needlepoint on Instagram. Subscribe to the Needlepoint Clubhouse's email, which you can do from their website. Subscribe to the Wool and Floss's email, which you can do from our website. And our plan is to be back in action in April with hopefully a lighter load on our shoulders.
That's exactly right. And so, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to continue to collaborate because we both are running very robust businesses in our own cities. And we created not only the podcast, but we created Wow Wednesday together. And so part of this hiatus is so that we can still focus on the other businesses that we've created. And so, like Melissa said, be sure to be following all of those channels. And a lot of fun is still happening in those two virtual places, if you will. So, is there anything else we need to say?
No, but my screen just popped away. So how about that? Just to, as a reminder, there are episodes back to 2020. So unless you have been around and stitching since I think May of 2020 when we started the podcast, there's probably some episodes you haven't had a chance to listen to. The full catalog of episodes is on YouTube. Many of them have been pulled over to Spotify and other audio podcasts. But if you are sitting around stitching and looking for a needlepoint entertainment venue, hop on to YouTube and try to find some old episodes that maybe you haven't seen before.
That's exactly right. And in the meantime, while we're gone, also maybe take an opportunity to shoot us a message about what things, if anything, you think we could do in the future to keep this a place where you can grab some education, get some knowledge of the needlepoint industry. That might help us frame our post hiatus planning. If we even have any time for that right now, I don't know, but
that's an April plan for sure.
That's exactly right. So
good.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate all of your support, and looking forward to seeing many of you in our stores at retreats. And if nothing else, if you are already registered and signed, sealed, and delivered for the April Pointing It Out podcast retreat in Detroit, then we will see you there. So
yes,
thank you.
Will. Looking forward to it. Bye, dear.
Bye.
For more information, please visit us on Instagram at Pointing It Out Podcast, or subscribe to our YouTube channel at Pointing It Out Podcast.
Shop online at Needlepoint Clubhouse by visiting stlneedlepoint.com and follow us on Instagram at stlneedlepoint.
And visit the Wool and the Floss online shop at woolfloss.com and follow at Wool and the Floss on Instagram.